my little one, my little sister Moraba. If you search her up here on TikTok or on YouTube, if you just search Moraba Maremeni, she's a makeup artist, a professional makeup artist. Guys, now at my home, like literally everybody has got a talent of their own. Like everybody's busy with something. Everybody's just busy with something. There's nobody who's not busy with anything. There's somebody who's busy with hair, somebody's busy with cake, somebody's busy with farming, somebody's busy with nails, makeup, sewing clothes. Like literally, we are all just busy people. The Maremini clan, we're just busy people, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's why I have got this beautiful makeup on done by my little sister, Moraba Maremini. And she was actually reminding me earlier on today that you remember back then, I think back in 2019 or 2018, I used to do people's makeup because I would make their dresses and then I would do their makeup as well. But you know, most makeup back then is not the same as makeup now. I still do my makeup even now, but I don't do other people. So, you know, because she was in high school then, I think, was she in high school or was she university? I would always ask her to come with me and I would give her a job. So that's how she fell in love with makeup. And then she went to school for it and she's a professional makeup artist. So yeah, but anyway, let's do the intro quickly. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Perseverance Maremini, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self love, and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing. Mwah. Welcome. The only reason why we're doing this live is because it's been a minute since we did a live, and I feel like there's a lot that's been going on. You know, over the long weekend, there's a lot that has been going on. Um, yeah, and I just wanted us to catch up on that. The first thing that has been in my heart, you know, for the longest time, is the divorce announcements, alleged divorce announcement between Hungani Ndlovu and her and his wife. You know, for those who know, I absolutely love and adore Hungani. You know, I've met him a couple of occasions, you know, through our YouTube programs, and he's one person who actually gave me some tips on how to, you know, handle this whole thing of being out there, you know, when I started off on YouTube. So I absolutely love them, you know, with his wife, and I love what they do. So okay. Oh, okay, cool. We have an adult. I thought maybe the baby accidentally went on live and joined the live, you know. So, but anyway, when I heard about their divorce, are you okay, ma'am? Mape? Are you okay? Are you here? Because are you supposed to be here or you accidentally got on the live? Oh, I muted her for sure. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you so much, Sly. I appreciate you. I love you, love you, love you. I always say that if I wasn't me, I'd be you. Yes, if I wasn't me, I'd be you. So yeah, guys, that's just one of the things. Besides the episode that we aired on Sunday, which is like hectic, heavy, the episode of the lady who is saying that she's a product of siblings. Her mother was mute. Her mother is mute and deaf, and she was sexually assaulted by her brothers, three of her brothers, her mother's brothers, from a young age. I think when her mother had her, she was like 14 years old and all that stuff. And she even has a younger brother, and the grandmother has been protecting all of that. They've been abusive towards her mother, and like she's literally a product of siblings, you know. And the way she's so broken, I don't even know. Like all I could do was just to get up and pray, and we could only join hands together and pray for her because there was nothing I could even say. Like there's nothing I could advise that girl, you know. But yeah, she shared her story. So if you've not watched it, please go over there and watch it. Thank you so much. I see others saying they will love the makeup, the eyebrows. Thank you so much. It's makeup by Moraba Maremini, my surname, and the name is Morava, Muravha. Yeah, Maremini, same surname as me. Anyway, so yeah, that's one of the things that actually broke me over the long weekend. But the other one, like I was saying, that the divorce announcement or the alleged divorce between Hungani Ndlovu and his wife actually also broke me to the core, you know. And I think at this point, Nosy says, I always watch you on YouTube. It's my first time on your live. Thank you so much for joining in. I don't know, maybe before we can even talk and if you have, how do you feel, you know? Because honestly speaking, I'm one person who really still believes in marriage. I believe that people are weird, you know? People are just weird. Human beings are weird. like human beings are just so weird, so they make it difficult for us to even, coexist in a union called marriage. But I still very much do believe in the union itself, and I will never ever be one person who gives up on love. I believe in love. But anyway, that's that. Yeah. So that breakup, I think, besides the fact that I love Hungani and Stephanie, Muraba with a U. I see somebody saying Muraba. My remaining Muraba, it's MU, ne, the vendor one. It's not Supedi. Muraba. But anyway, Mape, is it Mape? Ish, Mapeoza. Mapeoza. Do you want to talk to us, my sister? Or you are here by accident? My sister? Okay, I was hoping that maybe my sister has something to share with us before we can dive into your thoughts and opinions about this thing that is happening. Before I could even proceed, because you might find that maybe whatever it is that I want to continue with is nothing compared is not related to what she actually joined the live for. But if you have an opinion over this matter, you're more than welcome to request to join as a guest. So the one thing that I wanted to say, guys, is that this is so weird, believe it or not, this is so weird because you would think that, okay, I hear this a lot also, you would think that somebody who is not married is jealous of people who are married and is always celebrating when people break up and when people divorce, and it's not the case. If there's one, I always say that I don't wish divorce on anyone. That's the most excruciating thing, the most excruciating thing. I don't even wish it on my worst enemy. Like for me, at some point, okay, I'm glad now I am who I am, when it comes to co-parenting with my ex. But during that time of divorce, I felt like I wish one of us could die, either me or him, so that we never get to see the worst side of the other person, because there's no coming back from that. I don't know how people see that side of each other and they still reunite and reconcile and become a family again. Like that person has shown you their worst side, and you guys still have it in you to actually reunite with such people. I don't know how you do it. I could never reunite with an ex. And with my story, like, now I've been through the most. Like, I literally went through it all. So for me to be able to get back together with my ex, I would rather bite. I always say that I would rather bite my own private part than get back together with an ex, especially that type of ex that put me through a lot. But where we are now, like I'm saying, we're good in terms of co-parenting and all that stuff. But even with all of that I've been through, I don't wish it on anyone. Because honestly speaking, I don't know how I survived it. And I don't see anybody surviving that. And every time when I look at my old videos, my heart is filled with sorrow, not for myself, but for that girl. That 33-year-old girl. When I see her videos popping up, when I see the reminders, this year actually it has been a trigger. When I started with the process of buying a house, everything has just been a trigger. And when I looked at that girl, I felt so sorry for her, and my heart broke for her. So much that the nice thing about it for me was it then saying to me that I'm no longer there anymore. I have completely healed from that, so much that even when I look at that person, I don't see myself in that. I see somebody else who's been through life, who life has been very hard towards. So that's why I'm saying that I don't wish that on anyone. Thank you so much, my darling, Kulu. I don't wish that on anyone, so much that I and I know it's unfair, and it's unreasonable, and it's toxic to a certain degree, that some of us, we are struggling, we are failing in our relationships, but somehow we expect other people to make it. We expect other people to just get it right. And I think as a nation, we are so desperate to be inspired to believe in love so much that um we want people to stay together no matter what, so that we can keep being inspired. Because the more we see people divorcing, the more we see people breaking up, the closer we move to the reality of things are not always as rosy. Then it says that we pressurize people into staying together even when it's not working anymore. Not because, yes, we do love it for them, we want them to be together as a family, but we want to be inspired. You get what I mean? I had to divorce and break up my own family, which is one thing that I never want to see my kids or anybody else's kids going through that. But after all of that, I don't wish to see other people's families breaking up. But for some reason, I feel like my family broke apart. but we are fine, we are healthy, we are surviving, we are happy. The kids are happy with me, they're happy with their dad. Whenever maybe a kid is sick or there's something that's happening, they get to see me and their dad standing together and laughing. It's good for them, but that's not ideal. That's not an ideal family, you know. Ideal family means me and the dad, we wake up on the same bed every single day and they see us happy like that. But unfortunately, when we're together, we're not making each other happy like that. So the fact that we couldn't make it work then says we, especially someone like me who is still looking into getting married, looking into, like, I look forward to it, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know. I don't have any pressure, but then it says that I need to put pressure on other people, that they must inspire me, that I must be inspired that actually there's still love out there, you know. People really do find true love. There's still a true love of mine out there. So whenever I see um a marriage falling apart, it breaks my heart. You know, it breaks my heart. Like I said earlier on, that to a certain degree, there are people who will mistake you for someone who actually hates marriage so much that you celebrate when marriages are falling apart. Yes, I make so much noise when I see there's abuse involved in relationships and all that stuff. But in all honesty, I am also still looking for inspiration from other people so much that when I see a couple falling apart or a marriage coming to an end, it breaks my heart to the core. You know, it breaks my heart to the core. And yo, guys, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, because even when I have conversations with guys, for me, I feel like these guys don't get it. Like I've got a lot of male friends and I do engage with men a lot. So much that literally with just me engaging with them, I'll just be looking at them thinking, this is so sad. This is so sad that you are still backward minded about marriage and you still think you are the prize and you are about to find out the hard way. Guys, the women who tolerate abuse and they are just there to serve men. Yes, they can do it when they're in their early 20s because they don't know better. You know, they refuse to listen to people like me because we are old and bitter. But when ish hits the fan, they will always come back and binge watch on our videos, which is sad because I feel like your best bet as someone who wants the old type of marriage is to marry someone young. But the unfortunate part is that young people also grow up. And when they grow up, they behave the way that we are behaving now in our old age. Yes, they're behaving the way we are behaving. So then what does it mean for you? Does it mean that you detox your mind so that you understand the thingy, you know, so that you understand that this is the new age that we are in. We're not in an era where you are just going to walk all over a girl and she will leave you like that because she's serious about marriage. I always hear guys saying that you are out serious. I remember there's a friend of mine. I hope she's not on this live because if she's here, she's gonna be swearing at me. That the husband used to say, "Hore, how serious you know, you're not serious about this marriage, and you don't want to make this marriage, you don't want this marriage anymore." And literally this guy had given her a marriage because he was gallivanting, he was having sexual intercourse with everything and anything that, listen, if this guy sees a hole on the tree, he's going to have sex with it. That's how bad it was. You understand? He literally have sex with everything. I'm not saying everyone, I'm saying everything. But he had the audacity, after she even landed in a psychiatric ward, to say to her, "You're not serious about this marriage because now you don't listen to me anymore. You go and come as you please." That time it's someone that goes away for a weekend or for the whole week on a course and they switch off their phone. They're enjoying their life. But he has the audacity to say to that lady that you're not serious about your marriage. You know, you're not serious about this marriage. If you were serious about this marriage, you're going to sit down, you're going to listen to me. How do you listen to someone who is just literally sticking you know what we call him? Oh my gosh. My sister, if you are here, baby girl, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I love you. We always make joke about this guy. We call him, guys, I hope there are no kids here on this live because the word that I'm about to say is not a nice word. We say unali this is a CPD, combination of CPD or whatever. Guys, please, I've already apologized before I say the word. Ne? This is our private conversations. I always say, no, not now. We say, unali nyobi khogedi telele. He's got a long appetite for sexual intercourse. That guy just wants to see him. He just wants to see himself doing, guys. Like, listen, we could be sitting right here at a party, he just wants to go behind the door there and do with another girl. Like he just wants to do. Literally, he does with. Listen, if I'm telling you, if your hole looks like a vagina, that guy's gonna go and stick his penis there. So we always call him Njeuri Auti wa nyobi e kgogedi, ba re nyobi e kgogedi e telele. So there's absolutely nothing that quenches that guy's nyobi e kgogedi, guys. So, I have been there, I left him, and now we are Zikakela. I should have stayed, I would be Zikakeling also. It's always the case. It's always the case, my sister, because look, people still want their mothers in us, and the way that guy was raised, that guy specifically that I'm still talking about, the one that I'm saying, Rona Linyo Bi Kgogedi e telele, his mother endured a lot. She literally begged, so that the marriage can work out between the mom and the dad. So much that when he saw the mom choosing the stepdad over him and his siblings, he thought to himself, I need to work hard and get myself a wife who's also going to choose me over the kids and all that stuff. Like he literally feels like when he gets a family of his own, he's got his little kingdom where people are just going to worship him whenever he feels like it and whenever he's home. Because when he's not home, he is busy. He just wants to see his penis wet. That guy. He just wants to be doing. Look, he does. It's traumas, yes. But the thing is, I think when us line, the mistake that we make, a lot of us, is wanting to empathize too much with other people's traumas that we end up hurting ourselves. Because just because somebody has got traumas and you understand their traumas, it doesn't mean you have to participate in that nonsense, because you're going to end up cutting yourself trying to help a snake which is wrapped around a razor. You get what I mean? So sometimes before you jump into the pool, the deep side of the pool, to actually rescue someone, you need to check, is this person going to take me with them and then we're going to drown together, or am I going to actually save this person out of here? Because I think that's what a lot of us make, the mistakes that a lot of us make, realizing how deep somebody is in the deep side of the pool, so much that instead of us actually just wanting to save them while we're saving ourselves, we want to dive in there and we end up drowning with them, and that's not good. And we end up now accusing them of being bad people when all they did was just trying to stay in the pool. They never even said they wanted to get out of the pool. They just want to stay there, you know? They want to stay there and they just want to have company. They just want to have someone who's going to be with them there, in that pool. So, like I'm saying, that I also saw the speculations of the alleged thingy. Yeah, Hori is because Hungani cheated on Stephanie. That's why the relationship didn't work out. We're going back to Hungani and Stephanie Ndlovu of the Ndlovu's Uncut. I remember the first time when I met Hungani, it was at one of the YouTube events, and I said to him, like guys, when I tell you those people are so humble, it hurts. The way Hungani and Stephanie's marriage hurts me, the divorce hurts me. It hurts me the same, almost the same as the way Sia Kolisi and Rachel Kolisi's marriage actually hurt me. You understand? Yeah, it hurts. So I remember when I met him for the first time at some YouTube event. I was a speaker there. I think he was also a speaker. So I said to him, when I got the call from YouTube back in 2022 that I'm part of YouTube Black Voices, class of 2023. Mind you guys, I was new on YouTube. For those who know, my story was how I actually made it to YouTube. Within 6 months of me being on YouTube, I was already selected as one of the candidates, one of the fund recipients for YouTube Black Voices. And the funny thing is, I didn't even know anything about YouTube Black. And when I got the congratulations email and they assigned to me a thingy, what do you call this, a partner manager who was giving me this contract to say this is your contract with YouTube, and I'm seeing this big monies there, guys, like big monies, big, like proper big monies, monies that I had never seen. Like, okay, I'd seen, but I've never, yeah, had them in my account at once. You get? So when they said congratulations, you made it to YouTube Black, the first thing I did was to go on YouTube and Google YouTube Black Voices. And the first video that popped up was the video Ya Hungani and Stephanie Ndlovu also announcing, I think back in 2021, or they've also made it for YouTube Black Voices. So even when I met him, excuse me, even when I met him, I was saying, my guy, The first person that I actually popped up on my thingy when I googled YouTube Black Voices, I found you guys. Like, guys, he's the sweetest of them all. So nje, for me, it hurts, it hurts. I remember even after all of that, me making it for YouTube Black, it would give me tips on how I need to now start being safe, because YouTube is a big thing. It's a global platform, and me associating with it in this level, I need to be more careful of a lot of things, because I didn't really care much about things like posting my locations, my kids' schools, and all that stuff. And Hungani was the one who said to me, "My sister, please be more careful. You need to understand that you are now associating with a big brand, like not even. We're not talking about you just being on YouTube. We're talking about you having a contract with YouTube. You are partnering with YouTube, so anybody can use anything to get to YouTube through you." Because you are making yourself vulnerable to that, so I really appreciated because I was new on YouTube, by the way. So I was appreciating all of that. So that's why I'm saying, Murio, you know what? For me, Nji, it hurts, it hurts, and it kind of feels, I don't know, I feel selfish in a way, because I couldn't even make my own marriage work, my first marriage. But here I am being hurt about other people's marriages and not wanting them to divorce. And also at the same time, I don't want people to divorce just because my marriage didn't work out. Hi, Sma. Hi, Sma. Is it Smangele? What is Sma short for? Okay, Smile, you will unmute and talk to me, my darling. Roj is saying, who are these people? The names of the people, it's Hungani Ndlovu and Stephanie Ndlovu. They've got a channel here on YouTube. It's called the Ndlovus Uncut. It's just that some of us, we try to mind our business, because there could never be a time where I would come and say, guys, have you seen that Hungani has not been posting together with Stephanie on the channel? Because Stephanie has been doing some best friend things with some other lady. I don't know whether it's her sister or her friend. They kind of look alike. Yes, Romeo from Scandal. So to me it was a matter of maybe she's just busy. He's just busy. So because he's busy, then um or they are friends with the lady. They kind of look alike, or maybe I'm just being a stereotypical person because they're all colored. So when I was seeing all of that, for me, I was like, no, it's because Hungani is busy with this character. I mean, right now with Skim Sam, with him and Mapitsi and Tibosi, it's what is actually trending now. So it's probably taken him away from a lot of things. But when I saw the news of the divorce and all that stuff, it was really, really sad for me. It was really, really so sad. For those who are only coming in now, I just wanted us to catch up, guys, because it's been a hectic, long weekend. We have not spoken. And now we are on Hungani Ndlovu and Stephanie Ndlovu, who apparently, allegedly, according to Times Live, they are divorcing. They've been separated since last year, apparently since last year, August or something like that. I could be wrong. You know, if you listen to their podcast, you can hear that she was going through a breakup. Is it? Ish, I didn't even pay attention. I'm gonna go look at it. It hurts me, it hurts me. And also another thing, guys, that I wanted to bring another element, is the issue of people are now dragging defining. They are bringing defining to the whole thing. I think I saw defining also. They're my colleagues. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I love defining. I love defining. Dennis and Bongani, the proudly South African. Oh my gosh, I love them with all of my heart. Bongani really, he has my heart. So for those who don't know what defining is also a channel here on YouTube, where people are defining love, defining breakup, defining intimacy, defining this and that. So a lot of couples have gone to defining, and defining actually grew over the years because of the content that was being put. Like I said, guys, so people love love. And whenever there's love involved, people are just going to flock there because they really need that, desperate for inspiration. So thank you so much, Nicolium Gwebu. Thank you so much. So as I was saying that I don't know if guys you remember there was a TikTok sound here which was stolen from this thing. What do you call this? From Defining's podcast, where it was Buntle Mudiselle together with her husband saying, Mutwaka, I love you, I pray for you, I thank God for you, and all of that sound. People would just use that sound whenever they are in love and all of that stuff. So there's been a lot of beautiful episodes that came out of defining love, which was just so beautiful. So it has been happening that people who went to that show defining have been breaking up. Marriages have been coming to an end. And some people were saying the show itself defined, the channel itself defining is cursed. I think I saw a video, it's just that I didn't finish it, where the trio was on the they did a video where they were asking, or are they breaking up now as a group? And I don't think they are breaking up. It's just that Bona, they are busy people. So now that Hungani and Stephanie's news are out there, it's making things even worse, because now people are even insinuating even worse that defining is cursed, which I feel like it's nonsensical. This story of saying defining is cursed because people who went to the show are divorcing, ne? It reminds me of, I don't even want to mention the name, guys, ne? But the time when I was going through my own divorce, some men of God there came to our house where we were staying. Guys, like, we used to stay in a very nice house and nice neighborhood. Like, the whole street when you are walking going to my house. Okay, my house was the bottom of the barrel for that area, ne? But it was a nice neighborhood. So when you are walking there, you will see your future. You will see the time when you hit millions and millions. Or this is where I'll be staying. Like, guys, that street is inspirational, walking down it. So when the guy came to our house, he's like, I think there's a problem with this street. A lot of people who are on the street, they're getting divorced. There's a spirit of divorce on the street. That couple up the road divorced. That other couple, they're divorced. I'm like, what nonsense? Obviously, I can't say it, guys. I try to be nice sometimes, but in my head, I'm like, what nonsense? That page made me believe in love again. And I feel like we should take the love that Kuriso said, Kuriso Lorraine. So I feel like the love that we believed in because of what we saw, it doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't real at that time, guys. I think that's very important, to say that if we saw people loving each other on defining, just because people are now divorcing, it doesn't mean that during that time when they were recording that, the love wasn't real. It was real. It was real during that time. So it doesn't say that now you must scratch out believing in love because people that you saw displaying love don't love each other anymore. It just then says, Hori, not everything works out. Sometimes things fall apart. But during the time when you are in love, enjoy it to the fullest. Don't rob yourself of enjoying love just because people were extremely in love, more in love than you, and their relationships didn't work out. So you kind of think like, now my relationship is not going to work out. If those ones couldn't make it work, that means I'm also not going to make it work. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So as I was still saying that, no, what was I saying, guys? I even forgot what I was saying. Oh, yes, the pastor, ne? Love is beautiful, absolutely. So the pastor now was saying, the people are divorcing you on the streets. I'm thinking to myself, well, the thing is, these people on the streets, they're divorcing for different reasons. If the other one is cheating, he's not recruiting the neighbors. The neighbors who don't even know each other. You understand what I mean? Number two, the other one is divorcing because the other one is beating them up. It's got nothing to do with the other. The other one is divorcing because of finances. It's not got nothing to do with the other. So when you say this street, it needs, because guys, mind you, the things that we divorce about, it's not always, because sometimes people can hide the fact that if you like know that when you can never be in a marriage with someone who cheats, ne? Yeah, Hausa and Salamina are still pushing. There's still hope. Absolutely, I agree. I agree. So what I'm saying is that people, just because people are divorcing because of their different reasons, it doesn't mean that the other one has anything to do with the other one. you know. So now we must link things up and must now blame the street. This street has been farted on by a witch. So that's why when you get here, you must divorce. And when you check these things, the thing is that even though it's not always, but most of the times, the things that we are divorcing about are things that were there even before. Some of the are the red flags that we saw in the beginning and we ignored, and we thought they would get better, and they didn't get better. And when they didn't get better, it gets worse, and then a divorce comes. Just because it's coming one after another, it doesn't mean it's got anything to do with a witch coming to fart on the street and then now it's smelling divorce the whole street. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And usually when people believe in those things, they're trying to get you will be locked in that type of marriage or that type of situation for the rest of your life, simply because there must be something to blame. Now, one thing that annoys me, Gawas Albania especially, is that it must be the devil, it must be other things, never you. You must not. Uzalwanele accountability, they don't go hand in hand. The devil must be to blame. The witches must be to blame. The street that you are in must be to blame. You must blame everything except you. The fact that when now you did something wrong, you went and you took off your underpant for somebody else. That one doesn't matter. What matters is there's a witch in the street. And I mean, I can't talk, guys. Once we are talking and you tell me about other things, and you don't want to be accountable for anything, me and you, our conversation is done. We are done for the day. Like, we are done. Because I'm not having a conversation with somebody who's going to take their actions and blame them on a witch. Yes, you can blame a witch if you want, but what are you doing to make sure you mitigate some of these contributory factors so that the only thing we are looking at is the witch? You are saying, well, I'm doing my level best, but the witch, they came to me at night and they tied me to the bed and they were sleeping with me. You understand what I mean? Then I will understand. This thing now you must be contributing, you are helping the witch to reach their. When they say don't please the enemy, don't please the devil, shame the devil, don't allow the devil to break your marriage. You, part of the marriage, you are helping the devil to break the marriage. But the other person must hang in there. For what? That's nonsensical. It's nonsensical, guys. We need to be held accountable. We need to take accountability for our behavior as people. We can't be doing that. So yeah, like I'm saying that with me, I feel so heartbroken, but at the same time, I feel like I'm very selfish. I'm very selfish because it's more like when you are inspired by people, when their marriage is working out, or when it looks like it's working out for you, you don't want them to work out for themselves. You want them to work out so that you can keep being inspired by their marriage. You need inspiration. You are in desperate need of inspiration so much that you want people to stay together so that you can stay inspired. So it's got absolutely nothing to do with them. You can't tell me, Huri, no, they must stay together for the sake of their children, when you couldn't even stay together with your ex because of your children, because for you it was a matter of life and death. How do you know if the other person is also a matter of life and death? That thing is not nice. It's not nice. But yeah, we are selfish as people. And unfortunately, guys, you can never really say you have cracked this marriage, guys. Like I told you, Rena, ever since I got divorced, well, I decided to eliminate most of the problems in my life. I'm never gonna date someone who's never been married, because I don't want the stress of dating someone who is so gullible to a point where they have no idea what the heck is going on, and understanding or marriage might not even be forever, because now I must tell them the reason why I don't want to get married in community of property, and make them understand that there's no such. Sometimes forever doesn't always come. Sometimes when I are blind, forever ends now. So if they've never been there, then they don't understand what it means to actually break the relationship. So meaning, for me, in my belief, that this is my personal opinion, I feel like then it means, because they've never been through the pain of actually losing it all, they won't even know what it takes to keep it, so they won't respect it like that. And I'm not saying this is applicable to everyone. Some people have to not everybody has to go through things themselves for them to learn. Some can learn through their own parents and all that stuff. But for me personally, when it comes to dating and maybe possibly getting married again, I could never be with someone who's never been married, because I feel like they are like a child who's going for a ditch and they don't know that it hurts when they fall. And I have to be the one that says, sorry, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna sting. And like, nah, there's nothing. I can't be participating in that. I can't be participating in someone who actually wants us to get married in community of property, because no, this one will work. This one will definitely work. No, let's come back to reality. Let's come back to life. This life is very long. If you've done 10 years with someone or 15 years with someone, you can't be playing that game of saying we are doing forever. Yes, we will do forever if we are both still willing. You must learn that in this life, a marriage is not chaining someone. Someone has to choose to be with you every single day. Meaning that the day they choose not to be with you, you don't have to chain them within community of property and all these other things. Because someone said to me, I need to do a video and talk about the advantages of in community of property. I don't know, guys. You can say maybe it's because I am bitter. I don't know them. I don't know. Maybe somebody actually knows the advantages of in community of property. List them here so that we see them. Because all I see is disadvantages and some toxic traits. In community of property is just to lock you up so that you will find it difficult to break up, even when you don't want to be in that relationship anymore, which makes it even more toxic, which is why people kill each other. So I don't know the advantages of in community of property. If anybody knows them, please list them here so that we know them. So there's no way after I've gotten married in community of property, I lost everything, I started afresh. Somebody comes to me and say, but we will never divorce. Okay, because we'll never divorce, let's marry out of community of property. What is mine will always be yours as long as we are together. There are no advantages. When I lie, I'm telling you. So that's why now for me, they must research the advantages and come inspire us. Like, guys, for me, I'm waiting for someone to come and tell me the advantages of in community of properties, because I only know disadvantages, and some of them look like advantages, but they're disadvantages. I had a conversation with someone, and sometimes, guys, when I have conversations with people who believe what they believe, I don't even want to convince them otherwise. I just leave them like that. And I'm like a hamba juba with this belief of yours that you have. Mrs. K says that said reality, people change. It's rare that two individuals continue choosing each other. You see, and let me tell you, it takes two people to want to make a marriage work, but it takes one person for the marriage to fall apart. Because when you guys are getting married, even if one person wants to get married but the other one doesn't want to get married, you're not gonna get married. But when you are married, even if this one person wants to get married but the other one doesn't want to get married, that marriage is finished. It is finished. You understand? So you need to be conscious, make a conscious decision to say, I'm going to choose this person. Even when I hate them, I'm going to choose this person. But we get to a point where we don't want to choose each other anymore. We're just staying because we have tied ourselves, we have tangled ourselves with all these in community of properties so much that we are thinking that by the time we are done with the process, we will have solved. Mpotwala says in community of property works with mature people. The shared risk could be an advantage, but I do it again. What is that, guys? So what is it that mature people do that immature people don't do? What is it? Like, I want you to give me the advantages. Don't speak in riddles. Give me advantages. When you say in community of property, this is advantage number one. What is it? Oh, you said you will not do it again. Why not? Because even matured people, if I'm sick and tired of your behavior, and I'm sick and tired to a point where I resent you and I despise you when I look at you, whether I'm mature or not, if I'm hurtful, I'm hurtful. I'm hurtful if I'm tired, if you've been messing up with me so much. But now that means that the only thing that I'm staying with you for is the fact that I've made it difficult for myself to get out. And that's not healthy. You understand? That's not healthy. That is very, very toxic. It's like, no, I've decided that I'm going to tie you down with me so much that I'll make it difficult for you to get out when you want to get out. Leave the cage open. Leave the cage open so that when people want to go, they must go. Then when they choose to stay, you see that they want to stay because they want to be with you, making it easy. Imagine the resentment of staying with someone who does not want to be with you anymore. They despise you. They can even poison you. And the only reason why they're staying with you is because they're married to you in community of property. I was saying that I had a conversation with someone where I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to go through this debate because it's not worth it. Where somebody was saying to me, they believe in community of property. And the reason why they believe in community of property is because people who marry out of community of property, they don't take marriage seriously. They divorce every chance they get. No, it's because they want a divorce. So meaning in community of property is so that people must take marriage seriously. Even when they're mistreating each other, they must continue to stay there, even when they don't want to stay there, simply because they are married in community of property. So you are forced to take marriage seriously, even when the two people who are in it are not taking each other seriously. What nonsense is that? Hi, Mpo.
Madam,
how are you? Good, thanks. How are you?
Your moderator is bullying me, ma'am.
She's bullying you.
Sly is bullying.
She's a bully. You don't know her.
Me, I didn't say I want to come up. Now she's putting me on the spot.
Sorry,
no, but listen.
Yes.
Listen. From a perspective of understanding that yes, everybody on this platform is not Christian. Okay. But from a perspective of a Christian, myself, and the hindsight of somebody who was married for a very long time, 11 years, and who lost everything. I didn't lose everything. I decided to leave everything behind. Would I do COP again? I don't I don't know. I don't think so. I think every situation is unique. But where do I say? I'm not advocating for COP, but I'm also saying that the shared risk, when one is conscious of a shared risk when you're in COP, might be a deterrent to one to easily go out. But also it cuts on both sides. It you could be in COP and be stuck there because you cannot get out because you're scared of
And you end up
losing whatever
poisoning
you
each other.
own. you know but in just in closing, because so that I don't take up more of your time, I'm also of the opinion that there's just too many people, too many immature people who want to engage in the matters of marriage when they truly do not understand what marriage looks like. From somebody who's tried it and tested it for a very long time and reflected on it post marriage and gone through the suffering of post marriage, the depression that comes with it, the rebuilding that comes with it, the failure that comes with it, the shame that comes with it. When I think about it in hindsight, I realize that the success of a marriage is not based on one's intelligence or one's if one can truly love. You know, your love is not gonna push you over the line in marriage. Sometimes you wake up and you look at your side and you see your wife and you're like, Jesus Christ, what did I put myself into? Sometimes you wake up and you don't love your partner, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you, after a couple of years, your priorities, they change, and that's fine. The change. People go into these marriages and they assume that we need to be aligned on character all the time. We don't need to be aligned on character. We're two different individuals. The very reason why we actually got together is because we're two different individuals. If I wanted to marry somebody like me, I would have married my sister. But that's not how it works. And the second thing that pushes your marriage, which is the most difficult thing that most people, and I would say 99% of human beings cannot do, is unconditional love. Because I know it's very difficult. It is something that most people cannot attain. It's a standard that most of us cannot actually live by, even including myself as a Christian man.
But
When you say to me,
sorry to cut you. Do you think if
yes, ma'am, yeah.
unconditional love is even biblical? Is unconditional love even biblical? Because we wouldn't be asking for God to forgive our sins every day, because if we break one of the commandments, or if we sin, we are going to hell. Then that says that the love of God even upon our lives. I could be wrong. Please do correct me. It's also conditional.
I know that many people make the same mistake, but that it's okay. God's love is unconditional.
Okay.
We do not ask for forgiveness every day. We acknowledge to God that we are weak, that we have sinned. That is why we have grace on a daily basis. The miracle of the cross is that past sins were forgiven, current sins were forgiven, and future sins are forgiven. That is why the word of God says, now therefore there is no condemnation for those that are in Christ.
Amen.
So your condemnation when you are in Christ, now it's gone. So, but I want to come back to the unconditional love thing.
Okay.
I remember one time there was an issue of infidelity. I'm not going to speak badly about my ex-wife.
Yeah.
She's a good woman. There was a time in our relationship, I won't say who, but there was an issue of infidelity. And that it is almost like a cardinal sin in marriages, infidelity. And there was an issue of forgiveness. And, it was just not coming. It was not happening.
Yeah.
It became a sore to the relationship, to the point that it finished every element of trust in the relationship.
Yeah.
And and there's, when you love somebody, you do not pity them. There was another instance where we started feeling like, I'm not going to say who in the relationship again,
Yeah.
out of respect of my ex-wife. There was an element also in the relationship where there was pity love. You know what pity love is?
Yeah.
When somebody, when you know, when you tell somebody something about you, instead of them understanding your situation and helping you overcome that,
They feel sorry for
they
you.
pity you. You know, yeah. They instead of helping you, they just hold you close. They suffocate you
Because they're an
to the point
empath,
where you
probably.
cannot fully receive or express their love. Exactly. You know, so unconditional love, that's the one thing that if you want to have a successful marriage, I think that would work. You know, let me open up for some other people. Thank you very much, though, for the opportunity to
Thank
talk
you
to you.
so much, Mpo. I really appreciate you. It's just that, yeah, then it says clearly that, like you're saying, or unconditional love goes back to the cross of Calvary. Then it's got absolutely nothing to do with us as human beings, because I believe that all of us who are divorced, we are divorced because we failed to have unconditional love, you know. So if we did have unconditional love, we would have endured through the abuse, we would have endured through the cheating, we would have endured through all of these things. But the reason why we fail to endure all of that and overcome all of that is because our love is conditional. There are terms and conditions, like even in marriage, like you're saying, when infidelity is a big thing, even the Bible has got conditions when it comes to infidelity, meaning that I don't know what I should say, it perpetuates conditional love, because then it says that if someone is cheating on you in a relationship, you can, divorce them because they're cheating on you. So then that is, does it say, Hori, in marriage, conditional love is the thing, you know? Somebody's asking, what is conditional love? Terms and conditions apply. You don't know. I will love you up to this point, mara from here going there, untlwayela gampe, uyangijwayela kakumbi, uyandiqhela ngoku. From here going there, hayi sundiqhela. Hi, Rens. Hello. Hello. Do you know that you are here? Guys, I think today we have people who are just sleeping on their phone. So they end up accidentally requesting to join the live. Ne? So basically, yes, Beacon of Light says, in short, conditional love is self-love. Yes, because then it says boundary. Then it says, you can color me, but from this point going there, I will show you. I will show you izimpundu zenyoka, you know. But yeah, then it says, oh, it's complicated, you know. Once there's divorce involved, then the love is conditional. And I think maybe for those who are married and have successfully been together for a long time, we can't entirely say that they also don't have unconditional love. They have unconditional love. We could say that maybe because you've never faced what I faced, it's because that's why you still think like your love is unconditional and you can keep it going. But if you could face some of the things that I faced, you would have left a long time ago. You know, it's very hot in here. Listening to catch up. Hey, Pastor Benji, I appreciate you joining in the live. Nicole says, "Izimpundu zenyoka." Guys, I don't know. The person who's teaching me Xhosa. When I catch you. Yes, it's the makeup here this morning that my little sister Moraba did. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What about the husband who always side with their family and outsider? He hates you, in short and straight to the point. A husband who sides with his family and outsiders, he hates you. He has got his own reasons why he married you, but he obviously does not love you, because if he loves you, he's supposed to protect you, you know, unless if you're unreasonable. Also, still, if you're unreasonable, then you're not worthy of him loving you. Then I don't know what he's doing with you. Gracie? Hi, Gracie. Is it Grace? Hey, I'm hearing her.
Good evening, good evening. Hi, how are you doing?
Graced for purpose. How are you?
Is it my side or my name? I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
thought, unconditional love there. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. We can hear
Okay,
you,
looks
sir.
like my network was acting up. Okay, perfect. I just want to. There's something that you just mentioned, just a couple of seconds or minutes ago. That we do have conditional love, and we can be in a position to be able to love unconditionally. But the fact that sometimes we get rid of people that mistreat us doesn't mean that we don't love, because love does not get moved away, or you cannot take it away because somebody is disrespecting you. What you're actually doing is sometimes you need to show love by excluding yourself from the presence of that person. So even when we say that, I believe you say that God says when one cheats, then the relationship or marriage has to end under such circumstances. The reason is somebody here has failed to actually stand in the position that they've been given, or the responsibility they've been given. So God is saying, no, if you can't handle that responsibility, then I'm going to love you, but I'm not going to allow you to trust you with this responsibility. So it's still, the love can still be unconditional, but it's just unfortunately that you have disappointed, or you have failed to meet the expectations of what you've been trusted with. So if it's a relationship, if I'm a guy and I'm in a relationship or marriage, and I mistreat the woman that I'm with, and then the woman leaves, it doesn't mean that the woman doesn't love me. It just means that I'm irresponsible enough to be able to handle what has been trusted with me. I didn't realize the goal that I have. So for me not to continue damaging or destroying a beautiful thing, it's rather be taken away from me. So that at least I can become a better person somewhere else. I can be able to deal with myself, become a better person. Then, because the thing is, what we then have is, if somebody leaves you, then we have the impression that, oh, they don't love me. No. The problem is, the love is not only about you as well. It's about every other person that can be affected by your behavior. So rather that thing that you're failing to handle be taken away from you, let it be preserved for people who understands their worth. So they can also continue to be giving that unconditional love.
Yeah. You love them enough to let them go.
Thank you. And we need to master that art. It's very difficult sometimes because of emotions and all. But if we it doesn't mean that if you love somebody, actually if you love somebody, you should love them enough for them to let them go. Because if you're not able to let somebody go, you don't love them.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I think there's certain things that we are going through that we confuse for love, like our obsession over people and being greedy enough to want to keep people even when we can see that they're not good for us, just because of our own traumas and our own whatevers. Then we want to mistake that for love. Once you get to a point where you feel like, I can't live without you as a person, then it's not love anymore. You have issues that you need to deal with. That's where the resentment now grows, where now we now feel like we don't love people anymore because of what they're doing to us, because they're not good for us. But then also it says that when you quickly move away from people because you can see that the energy is bad, then it's like you easily give up. You easily throw in the towel.